This is Big Dreams, Small Pockets, a business and lifestyle podcast where we take you on our journey of making our dreams a reality. Ashhole is a full-time entrepreneur with a specialization in digital marketing, and Velly works a 9-to-5 job while managing her businesses on the side. If you want tips, tricks, and a good laugh, keep listening. Whether you're new or you've been listening from day one, we thank you for tuning in and ask you to share our podcast with your friends and business partners. Without further ado, let's get right to it.
Hey guys!
It's Velly.
And it's Ashhole here.
And welcome to another episode of
Big Dreams, Small Pockets. This is our season premiere.
Yes.
Mid-season premiere. Thank you guys so much for still tuning in. Whoever's still here.
Thank you so much for, waiting it out with us. This is, what month are we in now? In September.
Yep.
Of 2020.
Of the pandemic.
Right.
This is a terrible, well, sometimes terrible and then for some people, good year.
Yeah. So this episode is not necessarily a structured episode where we're going to be discussing a specific business topic. This episode is focusing more on the lifestyle aspect of our podcast, and we're just really here to update you guys and let you guys know what we've been up to, what we're planning to do, and just get started back into the swing of things.
Yeah. There's so much that happened between the last time we recorded and now.
Yeah.
And even in between that, when we tried to record.
We did.
It was just a dub. It didn't work out at all. It was bad.
So, as you guys know, we had a launch party planned.
Oh my gosh.
Which is still happening. I'm not going to say, it's not happening anymore. It's just on, a hold.
It's postponed.
Yes. But we had a launch party planned for February.
I think so.
February 22nd, I think, or 23rd.
One of those days.
I don't even remember the day. But actually, it was in March. It was in March because that's when I stopped working. I stopped working the first week in March 4th.
Regardless, it was in the swing of the beginning of pandemic time,
right,
where they were shutting everything down, like all of New York. No, stores, grocery stores had lines. It was bad. So it was basically us looking at ourselves are we going to do this or not do this?
Right.
And we just decided against it, family
No,
and
honestly,
friends.
the law decided against it. Because I remember that's when they were you can't congregate more than 60 people or something like that. And
it was
wow.
It was 10 people at that point. It was bad.
It just went from oh, this is something to look out for to it's happening. We're done.
Yeah. No, America kind of got the late swing of things. The rest of the world, it was happening for them. For us, it was just a distant, oh yeah, that's going on over there overseas.
Right. It was something to look out for, but nothing to concern.
Yeah, but...
Plot twist.
Plot twist, OD.
It happened all within a week. They said, oh, it's coming to America. It's in America. We got to shut things down. Okay, everybody stay home.
Yeah, no, it really happened so fast that we didn't really have time to process anything. Honestly, it was one of those movies, so...
But you know what? Ash and I were talking, and we really decided that the launch, honestly, wasn't meant to happen when we had planned it for.
OD.
Because a lot of the things we had ordered hadn't even come yet. And so we were going to have a launch party with a lot of things missing.
It was a blessing in disguise, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's what this whole thing is probably going to be called, because the pandemic for people, some people really got blessed for this pandemic.
Some people thrive, and that's good. You should always be, I wouldn't say should, that's not a word to be using, but it's honestly sometimes important to really celebrate other people's highs, even though you're going through your own lows.
Mm-hmm.
And I am happy for anyone who got something positive out of this, whether it's, financial growth, mental growth, emotional growth, something, a time off, whether you're going, constant and the pandemic forced you to slow down and take that time you needed, else your body was going to take it for you. If you got something positive out of this, I am happy for you. I think that's great, No,
seriously, because there's a lot that people kind of looks down on and look sad at. But if you're looking at the positive aspect of it, it makes it a lot better and easier to get through it, because this is a situation no one has control over.
Right.
So if you're looking through the positives of it, it just makes it a lot easier for you to go on.
But I mean, it's easier saying now because, we are in the downswing of things and,
possibly uprise again.
We're in the calm downswing where it's okay, we're still able to go out, enjoy ourselves a little bit more, still be safe, but it's not too much of a stress. And so I think it's also easier for us to say, well, look at the positives, because a couple months ago I would have told you to shove that positive somewhere where the light don't shine, because I don't want to hear that,
Yeah,
but now I can say, like, okay, yeah, like, the great things came out of it, other people were blessed and I'm happy for them. This is all the first round of COVID talk. So let me not make y'all feel like I was absolutely happy and thriving throughout the entire time. I was not. But that's fine.
I don't think anybody was.
Some people were. There were some people who were truly happy.
That's true, but it takes a toll on everybody mentally, whether you're happy or not. Just a huge change in your life, whether you're happy or not, the change affected you. I feel like it's that adjustment that everyone had to make from going outside every single day to not being able to go outside. Or if you are outside, you have to be extra cautious. The emergency workers, shout out to them. It was just a big adjustment.
Honestly, but to get to the specifics, because these are all things, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard from a lot of different people, a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different shows.
Yeah, but they wasn't us and we wasn't here.
But I want to talk more about specifics with us. Like, okay, what about us? How does it affect us? Where are we? What are we doing? I'm not sure what I have to say, but, that's I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Wow, no, I actually wanted you to start. Can you start with your updates? Okay.
But got employment, but I was also working that part-time job. If anyone knows me personally, I'm never working just one job. Right. I'm never making just one form of income at one point. I can't, just because I'm like, I need to increase. Multiple. Yeah, like, I just think it's so important. I love to get multiple paychecks. It's such a good feeling.
OD.
It makes me smile. But yeah, so I temporarily lost my job, but I gained a new job. I actually had surgery twice on 2 different feet, but we're here. That's really good. There's nothing to really linger with that. It's my last one, so I'm really happy about that. I cut my hair. I did a big cut, and that for me was a form of liberation from a lot of the energy that I held on to, not just during the pandemic, but just during the past couple of years of my life. And you know how, like, they say when a woman cuts her hair, she's making a change, and it's true. Your hair holds energy, your hair holds memories and experiences, and in my opinion, I needed to let it go. I didn't want to, keep growing. I just wanted to just cut that off, so I did. I cut a whole lot off. I haven't seen it curly yet. We'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I really like it. Like, I truly do like the cut.
She did a fire, what is it called? A silk press on herself, guys.
Yeah, I really liked it. So
watch out, Shivy hair care people.
Yeah, so I also spent a lot of money and time invested in Shivy hair care with a new launch I have coming out, which is coming out this month. Ooh. The first product is actually gonna go on sale in a week and a half at this point.
Hold her accountable, guys.
Yes, please.
Message her on the side, like,
so
hey,
go to my Instagram, Shivy hair care, SHIVI hair care. And follow me, please, and thank you, and support. Even if you don't want to support, like, comment, share, all of that good stuff. We appreciate it all. What else have been going in my life? I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a constant state of how to do better in terms of myself. Like, I'm always just like analyzing my life and just like, okay, I think I need to be better in this aspect. I think I need to be better. So I find that I've been like really down, and I've been really moody, and just a lot of nonsense just been happening, and I feel like I've been allowing a lot of my exterior to control my interior. And so I have been starting to fast a little bit more often, and I'm about to go on this dramatic fast for a whole month where I'm cutting out all distractions. It just includes anything that can distract me from my goal. And it's just, I'm putting myself in a place of realignment and making sure that I'm opening up myself to achieving what I want. I keep telling everyone around me, you don't make big wins by making little steps.
Right.
So in order to get those big wins, I need to start making those bigger steps, and need to start really like directing all of my energy into what I want. And that's where I really am. I'm just tired of falling off with certain things. I'm tired of like falling off with working out. I'm tired of falling off with meditating, and I just, you're just getting to a point where you're just like, all right, this falling off is not working anymore. That's where I am, and I'm like, I need to just cut everything out and just dedicate my time to the things that is going to get me to where I need to be, and I need to do it now, and I need to just go all in.
What else? I think that's really it for me. I'm forever a mess, but always getting my life together. So I feel like that's always my updates for y'all. What about you, Ash?
Your updates were very extensive. I'm happy that you went first this time because now I can know like what to go off of. Cause that was a lot. I wasn't about to give them.
You know what? I feel like they deserve it just for the fact that we have not been putting enough energy.
No, I completely agree.
So that's why I'm like, give them all.
I would really like to apologize, guys. It's been so long since and I know this is every episode. Literally every episode apologizing, but it's fine. I'm really happy that we get to actually have this chance to do this with you guys again. Updates for me kind of just look like a roller coaster. So from the beginning of the pandemic, the very beginning, I went through like a state of shock. I'm like, yo, what's gonna happen? Like, people are dying. Is this like the end? I went through like this whole crazy thing, mostly because my mom is older. So anybody who like, you know, doesn't know or probably knows by now, this pandemic really affects seniors. So it was just like a really big scare for me. So I feel like that's where all of my shock and worry was coming from during the beginning of the pandemic. But once we realized the steps we could take to protect her, to make sure we stay healthy and stuff like that, it got a little easier. You know, the anxiety slowly went down. So I think the roller coaster kind of happened in all aspects of my life, whether it be my business, going from really, really high in profit to really, really low and then high again, to my weight. Similar to Velly, I kind of have a weight journey. Like, I wanted to lose weight, kind of, not necessarily gain it, but I wanted to lose weight in terms of regulating my hormones. Like, as some of you may know, I have hormone issues, so weight gain is a big factor in that. Even if you're not huge, even the slightest bit of weight gain can affect your hormones like immensely. Like, so I wanted to make sure that I stayed healthy. So I have a group chat and we just kind of sent each other messages every other day or every day, like, hey, we worked out, hey, we did this together, and it's like it was motivating. So like that really helped me in the beginning of the pandemic. Lately I fell off, but I feel like it's gonna come back to me eventually. I would say for business, like I mentioned, like it went up, down, back and forth. Like the beginning of Corona was so good for e-commerce sales. It was amazing. Like everyone is home and they have nothing to do. They're shopping. So I went through a crazy period of selling out completely.
It's lit.
Now the middle of the pandemic was the issue because there are no things open. No distributors, just Amazon. Like there's literally nothing open, which is a bad thing because now you can't re-up your inventory. So that was the complete negative drop for me. I'm just like, wow, am I like technically unemployed right now? It was just a stagnant point where I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And then like everyone kept talking about the unemployment check. Shout out to the government for giving everybody unemployment checks who needed it. Like, I didn't know, like, I knew about it, I heard about it, but I was too afraid to kind of sign up for the self-employed unemployment. So my friend sent it, I don't know, I feel like asking for help, like, I felt like more people, like, needed it. Like, I felt like other people, like, that were worse off, needed it. I just didn't want to put myself in the position to ask for help and then take away from somebody else. But I don't know, I got over that shit real quick, guys. I needed the money too.
I was like, okay.
No, because eventually I needed the money too. So it was a real blessing to get that unemployment check. And it was a blessing for a lot of people, actually. Yeah. The unemployment people, I don't know how they regulated the money, but some people were making more than they ever did in their lives.
Yes.
And whoever took that opportunity to save it, invest it, do whatever they want to it, that was...
Spend it on a bag if you want. It's your business.
On a new car. You see all these new dealer plates out and about now.
Wow.
No, like...
all these trips.
I'm telling you. No, now we can go on trips, but that's another thing.
With their unemployment
With
checks.
the unemployment savings.
Live your life. I'm not judging.
Stop fucking playing with them. No, honestly, I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to, like, indulge in that a little bit because it was... amazing. Like I filed for so much stuff, guys. I made sure no
She went from I don't want to take away from nobody. I filed for everything.
No, seriously, because at this point I'm like, okay, the government set this money aside for people who need it. Hello, bitch, you need it. Like, I had to go through this weird internal thing, but when I realized I could actually get money and there wouldn't be repercussions because I actually needed the money, I was like, okay, clearly God sent this to me for a reason, so I'm going to use it. So I used the money in a bunch of different ways. I'm so glad because, like, coronavirus, even right now, while the pandemic is slowly, like, winding down, all the markets are ready and fresh for you to jump into it. So I got into stock, crypto, real estate. I literally took the money and was like, what can I do to set myself up? Because who knows when this money's going to stop, which it has. and who knows when things are going to, hit the fan. Which it did. So,
there is no fan. We lost that.
No, exactly. Like, I kind of just wanted to take root and try to get myself into everything that I was always thinking about, which comes into my talk about my business diary. So I started an online business diary. I actually have my books here, and my books, like I've told you guys all the time, if you don't write it down, it's not going to happen. I always write stuff down, but now that I actually have a digital copy of it, I feel like I'm really doing something. Because now it's there.
Where's the digital copy?
On Google Docs.
Okay. No, this is for them to know.
Like, I thought you were about to judge me.
You can't just tell them all these great things and not give them, steps on how they can do it as well.
Yeah, well, you can make a diary on a lot of different platforms, but I chose Google Docs because they save automatically. My business diary, like the stuff that I've been trying to get down and get out of, like the past 2 years I've been working, it's actually getting done now. And it's because I have financial, like not complete financial freedom, but I have money that I can use that I don't necessarily have to break my back for. And I'm really, really thankful for that. Like, I really appreciate the pandemic because of those things. There's a lot to look bad at with the pandemic. Completely.
Yeah.
Like, I pray for those families that are still being affected by it,
Yeah.
But it helped a lot of people too.
And can I say, people really took time to realize the importance of mental health, mental hygiene, and what self-care is. Self-care isn't just a one day, every 3 months, or it's not just something, you take a picture of your wine in your bubble bath and put it on Instagram. Self-care really is a long-term thing, and it's something you have to maintain. And I feel like throughout this pandemic, people really realize the importance of self-care and how easily you can go into a state of sadness. Oof. How easily, your anxiety can start to flare. Like, how these things are really real. And, experiencing a couple of months of it compared to somebody experiencing their whole life, I think this gave a lot of people insight on just what it's like to have a mental illness.
Exactly.
And this is no way, shape, or form taking away from anyone who felt those feelings for the first time throughout the pandemic. I just think it was great. It's a great way for people who have not had exposure to mental health to be introduced and to realize the importance of it. And as you guys know, this is what I do for a living, so I will always be an advocate and I will always take the time to talk about it. But this pandemic really, really, really emphasized the dangers that can come with, just life stressors and how it can affect you, not mentally, but not physically, but mentally. Because a lot of people, compared to the people who were actually physically affected by COVID, there were so many more people affected mentally, and that's where the real trauma comes from, because it's like, now people are scared to go out and interact. That's PTSD. Do you know how much people are going to be stressed out in the next couple years? When we fully reintegrate back into society, everybody's having fun now, but even still, you see people getting nervous that somebody coughing 2 blocks down. Yep. You're like, hold up now, go home. Go home. I'm not coming to this event if somebody's coughing.
I have a little pocket Lysol, y'all.
Right.
It's not a game.
And honestly, I love the fact that we became more, as a country, as a society, more hygienic. Like,
that's what I was about to say. The physical aspect of COVID, everybody is constantly washing their hands now.
That. And
that's what should have been done before, like far before. We mentioned this too. That's why I was listening to our old stuff. I was like, wow, we was talking about this before COVID.
Exactly, because it was natural to us.
Wash your hands, guys. Like, look at the little things
in between your fingers too, not just
under your nails.
Right, especially them long nails. Get into it. But yeah, I really love the fact that now we are more health conscious as well. You know, with the masks, if you were sick, the mask isn't protecting it's not protecting you from others, it's protecting others from you.
Yep.
You know, and I just love the idea that now we are, as a society, holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who are protesting. There's people who's going to be against everything in life, and that's just the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a right to feel how they feel, but I personally feel that the level of health, the level of care we have in terms of everyone making sure they do their part to stay sanitized,
mm-hmm.
I love that. I may not love what COVID did to people's families, and it just was such a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love the fact that now people are just doing the basic and washing their hands, which is sad, but I'm just grateful for it regardless.
They're also checking their health, like, overall, too.
Yeah.
Like, because COVID does affect you easier.
With pre-existing conditions.
If you have any pre-existing conditions. So that's where I feel like it really helps people realize, like, okay, these are things we have to check out, because you never know what could happen.
Exactly.
So that's kind of what it was. That big shell shock of, wow, this little virus, which is no different than a common cold, the same symptoms, can kill you if you have something already.
Yeah, it made people start thinking, like, and you know, it really brought people together with the family time. You really start, you either learn to love or hate your family. Ooh. It brought people together and apart. It did a lot. You know, some people got back together, some people separated. Yeah. I'm happy for the people who got back together or separated, if that's what needed to happen.
I'm happy for the separations too.
I'm just happy for anyone who can get something positive out of it, and for everyone who lost somebody that is listening to this podcast right now, I truly do apologize, and my heart is heavy for you. I pray that your process of healing, and healing in the sense not that you'll get over it, but you will move through it. And, you know, you will continue to live your life. I hope that process gets easier by the day for you. And I really do encourage having a professional there. It's good to have your friends and family, but if you can get a professional, I know certain insurances, you know, give it for free.
Yeah.
Some you can get for discounted rates, especially with the pandemic. I know certain jobs are also giving either discounted or free
for grief counseling.
Exactly. So I would really recommend you speak to a professional and have them truly help you through this process, because I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to imagine. I just know that you are amazing and
really strong.
Yeah, and you'll get there even if you don't feel strong. You're alive another day, and you're taking another step, and you're choosing to keep going. So you're strong. And even that's that. I can go on.
No, okay. I did want to touch on a little bit of the other aspect of the virus and what it did for people. It kind of just gave everybody a whole kind of, it amplified the woke movement. Mm-hmm. It amplified what was going on already. Like, there's been something brewing in this country for so long. And I feel like the fact that everyone had time to just really sit and ponder it, it gave us the exact amount of energy we needed, you know, to start protesting, you know, start really talking about the issues, the problems we have in the racial, social justice communities in America. Like, we are calling for change in this time, and I think Corona kind of gave us that platform. So it was good for that, honestly.
Yeah, that's also been, like, really, I feel like difficult to process for people in multiple different ways. Depending on how you ask or who you ask, you'll get a different response.
Of course.
But it's been just disheartening, and it's been sickening, and some days you just really can't deal with it. You just want to step away from it all, and then you realize, like, sometimes there is no way to step away from it. Yeah, and that's what made it all so stressful. Like, you couldn't step away from the injustices that was happening.
Yeah,
there's Corona. It's just
it made you feel like you were a part of it, even if you weren't.
Yeah,
like, the world has a funny way of just showing you things at the most inopportune time. But Corona made this happen, and I feel like it finally gave it a stage.
Yeah.
Like, it made sure that no one could just like you said, no one could distract themselves from what was going on. So I'm happy about that.
Like, I feel like this happens every couple years.
A big historical thing, right?
Yeah, and then there's the riots, and then there's all of us mass posting. I feel like that wasn't any different from a couple years ago.
I think it was.
But only, I feel like the difference is just the amount of people that was able to dedicate. Because, to be honest, I know a lot of people who are like, if I had to go to work, I wasn't going to protest.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So it's like, I feel like it didn't, like, but 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whose name was a hashtag and whose name were we, like, throwing all over social media and protesting? And I just feel like what it did, it just made more people, like you said, available so you heard more voices.
Yeah.
You know, there was more people on the streets. There was more. I just think it gave more. I think this was going to happen regardless of COVID or not, because when George Floyd happened, that whole movement, that whole thing was going to happen. And with Breonna Taylor as well, like, it was inevitable that people were going to be unhappy and people were going to protest and riot. But like I said, I feel like it was just more so more people were able to.
I feel like it was different because Corona kind of amplified it. Like, it was like a microphone to the world. Like, for the past ones that we've had, the past, like, protests and
Sandra Bland,
all of that stuff happened for sure. But on a global scale, it didn't hit like this. It definitely didn't. And I feel like Corona was our microphone. Like,
because nobody had nothing to do.
Exactly. Like, I know that you could pretend not to care before, but now you have nothing.
You're in your house.
You're in your house.
You can't go anywhere.
So now you have to listen to our issues. You have to hear our grievances, because this is what's happening, and it's always been happening. You know, like, now we have a microphone for it. And even though it's died down a little bit, I'm happy that we kept the momentum going, because there needs to be change.
My biggest, the biggest thing I've seen come out of this is the support for Black businesses.
Yeah,
that's for me the biggest one, because, to be honest, all these companies that are like, we hear you, we're going to change this and that. I want you to change the laws, not your profile picture. Like, I don't think you're understanding what we're asking for. You're painting the streets. You're giving me street signs. You're giving me, you know, a picture with you kneeling. And it's not that those things don't help or don't make people feel better, but I want legit things to protect
They don't make me feel no way at all.
Some people do feel better.
I don't care.
It makes some people smile. But that's not what we want.
No.
That's you are not about to sweep it under the rug.
Exactly. That's what I feel like it is. And like, oh, they want this? Let's just throw them this.
Exactly.
They'll be
throw
right.
them a bone to keep them quiet. That's literally what they're doing with these things.
And we peep it too. You see these memes, we legit peep it. Like, we're not stupid. You're insulting our intelligence by thinking that you could just throw some stuff on the wall, paint a mural here or there.
What is that?
That'll be alright. Like, no.
What is that?
Like, they could change this law.
With all the murals they painted.
Arrest the cop.
The cop's still free. And the man got arrested for what? Shooting into other people's houses. Not killing them. Shooting into their houses.
No, what really makes it a little worse is, like, you hear similar stories of similar cases with different people, like, people of different colored skin, and it's just like, dang, you know, is this not evidence enough? Like, it's like we're painting a picture for you, and we're writing you these stories, we're telling you all this stuff, and you're still missing it.
Yeah.
So that's the only disheartening part about it. But I think that the strides that we're making right now, they're important, and they need to just keep it up.
Yeah, I just feel like we need to keep going. Keep going. And I know Ash and I had multiple conversations with multiple friends throughout the months, you know, in what we all can do to play our part, you know. And some people's part is social media. Some people's part is finances, helping out financially. Some people's part is protesting. Some people's part is educating their friends. And I think the important thing to realize is there are so many different parts to play, and even if you can't play one or you don't feel comfortable playing one, there's always another thing. There's always something else you can do. And
there's no shame in not being able to do all.
Exactly.
No shame.
As long as you can accurately say, you know what, I'm doing something to help. Not I'm sitting down, it's not my business, I'm not saying anything wrong. No, if you can say I'm doing something to help, and doing something to help literally can just be educating a friend on what that means or what people are angry about.
Yeah.
That way, that means someone who didn't know now know. That's really what you did, and that is important.
That's very
Having
powerful.
Conversations is important.
Even just one person. If you could even change one person's mind, that's
you don't
powerful.
Know where that one person will go.
Exactly.
Overall, guys, I think I can speak for Ash when I say, you know, it's just been a rough couple months, but it's also been a lot of blessings that have fallen on our laps, and I am grateful for every little thing I have in my life. I'm grateful for everyone I have in my life. And while I do have my own problems, I am working on just finding solutions. That's really my mental state right now. What are the solutions to my problems? The problems that I can't change, okay, that's its own thing. But the ones I can, what am I doing? That's where I am. That's not where you need to be, and that's not where you should be. But this is just my truth, and yeah.
I think my state of mind is just do more. I know that's usually my state of mind, but but do more in a smart and strategic manner.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for me personally during the pandemic, I didn't really have a lot of like cold cut like plans. As much as I've been writing stuff down, once you actually get the money to do what you want to do,
then you start thinking
what do I do? You know.
Yeah.
So I think that putting all of my plans and ideas into effect, that's where I've been, and that's where I still am. So I just want everybody to try to get things done. If they have something they've been thinking about for a while, something on their heart, a hobby, a passion project, you know, try it. You know, who knows if it's gonna flop or not? Just try it.
Funny, I feel like for me during the pandemic, I didn't have time to like sit down.
You were busy.
Yeah, the pandemic really took away my I didn't have time to get bored. I had so many other things to do. I did not have time to be bored. I didn't have time to forget the day. It was Monday morning, 8 a.m. I had stuff to do, you know, so for me, that's why I'm taking this fast, to make that time for those things, because
you need it.
Yeah. And
mentally.
and it is what it is. Like, I'm at that point where it's just like, I just want to be better, guys. Like, you don't understand. I'm at this state in life where I have such big dreams, and I am ready to make these steps to get myself there. Like, I'm just ready to be an elevated version of myself. So
who you were always meant to be and
exactly.
will be.
I'm ready to step into that light that people see me in.
She took my positivity, guys. She doesn't usually do that.
And on that note, we will call it a day.
Yes. Oh, there's so much stuff coming up, guys. So much. I'm so excited. We're going to have guests for the end of this season. We're going to have a lot more episodes. You guys can not call us. Wow. Whew, LOL. You guys can hit us up on all social media platforms.
Right.
Just so, you know, we could get the suggestions. Check us out on YouTube. There's actually going to be a bunch of content on there of our videos recording these episodes.
Right. You don't want to miss those. Those are hilarious. I have a segment for Ash. A specific segment for her.
Yes, there's
we'll break it down.
There's everything on YouTube. So, you know, check us out there. Follow us on Instagram. If you have anything that you can suggest for sponsors, let us know. Because, you know, right now we're not getting paid. We're a negative, and we'd like to be profit.
Well, damn.
What? Is this Big Drew Small Pockets?
To end it.
Is this Big Drew Small Pockets?
What a way to end it.
We
could have started with that. End on high. We're negative.
Listen, guys. We are Small Pockets at this moment.
That just made me sad. Like, damn. Are we really? Let's check our finances again.
Yo, we should get a bank account, right? No?
Okay. Have a great day, guys. That's all I gotta say. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
See you.